The Skylight Room is a short story written by O. Henry, the pen name of William Sidney Porter, first published in 1906. It's a poignant tale that explores themes of poverty, dreams, and the fleeting nature of happiness in the context of a small, run-down boarding house in New York City. The story centers around a young woman named Miss Leeson, who is struggling to make ends meet in the bustling city of New York. Miss Leeson is a dreamer with aspirations of achieving a better life. She works as a typist and rents a small room in a boarding house, where she lives a frugal and somewhat dreary existence. The boarding house is described as modest and shabby, with a dimly lit interior. Miss Leeson's room, known as the Skylight Room, is located on the top floor of the house and features a large, beautiful skylight that allows a stream of sunlight to enter during the day. The skylight is the room's main attraction and serves as a symbol of hope and aspiration for Miss Leeson. Miss Leeson, despite her meager circumstances, is determined to hold on to her dreams. She yearns for a life filled with beauty, luxury, and romance. She spends her evenings gazing at the stars through the skylight and imagining a brighter future. One evening, as Miss Leeson gazes out of her skylight, she notices a man who lives in the building across the street. This man, who she dubs Mr. Skidder, is a musician who plays the cornet. He practices his music in his own room, which is visible from Miss Leeson's Skylight Room. Miss Leeson becomes infatuated with Mr. Skidder and is entranced by his music. She begins to believe that he is the key to the happiness and romance she so desperately desires. She fantasizes about a future with Mr. Skidder, where they will share their dreams and aspirations. One evening, as Miss Leeson watches Mr. Skidder through her skylight, he looks directly at her window and smiles. She is overjoyed by this small gesture and takes it as a sign that he shares her feelings. From that moment on, she becomes even more enamored with him. Miss Leeson and Mr. Skidder's relationship remains limited to these silent exchanges from their respective rooms. They never speak to each other, but their glances and smiles become a form of communication. Miss Leeson is content with this silent connection, as it gives her hope and happiness. However, as the story progresses, Miss Leeson's dream of a romance with Mr. Skidder begins to crumble. One evening, she looks out her skylight and sees Mr. Skidder with another woman in his room. Her heart sinks as she realizes that he is involved with someone else, dashing her hopes of a romantic future with him. Miss Leeson's world is shattered by this revelation. She is devastated by the loss of her dream and the realization that Mr. Skidder will never be hers. The skylight, once a source of hope and happiness, now becomes a symbol of her dashed dreams and unfulfilled desires. As time passes, Miss Leeson's infatuation with Mr. Skidder fades, and she resigns herself to the reality of her life. She continues to work as a typist and live in her skylight room, but the room loses its luster. The skylight, once a beacon of hope, becomes a reminder of her unfulfilled dreams. The story concludes with Miss Leeson reflecting on the transience of happiness and the fleeting nature of dreams. She realizes that her pursuit of happiness through Mr. Skidder was in vain and that true happiness must come from within. In the Skylight Room, O. Henry explores the themes of poverty, dreams, and the human capacity for hope and resilience. The story paints a vivid picture of a young woman's yearning for a better life and her belief in the power of dreams to transcend her circumstances. O. Henry's storytelling in this narrative is marked by his ability to create empathetic and relatable characters, as well as his skill in using symbolism to convey deeper themes. The skylight, in particular, serves as a powerful symbol of Miss Leeson's aspirations and the ultimate disappointment that can accompany the pursuit of unattainable dreams. The Skylight Room is a touching and thought-provoking short story that explores the complexities of human desire, the limitations of external sources of happiness, and the enduring power of hope. O. Henry's narrative mastery and the relatable nature of the protagonist make this story a timeless exploration of the human condition and the pursuit of happiness.